SRB separation confirmed. Coming up on staging, the burnout of these twin solid rocket boosters at 2 minutes 5 seconds.
I can tell you about my life, I got scars for the proof. Know my bars are the truth, now it's stars in the roof. Plus I'm rolling with another star. If you ever saw the service on a double R, could've bought another car. Reasoning with Lizzie, yeah, I talk to my money. I'll be running to the bands, they just walk to the money. You can't talk to me funny, never. She gave me brains in the roller, that's what I call thoughts in a culli. Okay.
You always have experiences that no one else has.
On the streets in Tottenham, it was a dark time. Like, they actually sent me a screenshot of the message of who the first person to send them the clip from the university was.
That must be like an insane position to be.
It was a horrible position to be in.
This is how she's discovering it.
Literally. So
Broski.
some people actually know what's going on and they have the details and they make decisions to like make certain moves.
I'm looking at it from home and I'm like, why are Tion and Headie fighting?
We
I
get
feel
it.
like you're going into that place, I could tell.
It's loving everything, but we'll link in the next life.
Vin. Vin.
I went to the government, you know.
What are you saying, what, boy?
Are you stay, bro?
You good, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Yo, I ain't never woken up this early for work in my life.
No, man. I ain't even slept, my guy, bro.
Swear down.
Oh.
They say we're going Milton Keynes. What's going on over there?
To be honest, my brother, I don't even really know.
Oh, you don't even know what you're doing?
I'm doing like some content with Formula One, some karting.
Okay.
I want to drive me around the track before the races on the weekend.
Okay.
So a nice little experience, though.
No, that's dope. Obviously, you just dropped your most recent album,
Yeah.
The Last One. I think I know why it's called The Last One, but I want to know if I'm right. So is it The Last One because it's the last album that you've got to deliver to your label? And is it also because the last one, obviously, when I listened to the intro of the album, you mentioned like your last bid in prison and that. And it was like, you was trying to say, okay, that's the last time you're going there.
No, definitely. It's like, I feel like it had, that's why I liked that title, because it had so many different meanings.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, actually, I want to move on to like a different space in music. I feel like my music is like, it's very reflective, and I don't really talk about like the how things are now as much as I can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's because of like all of the stuff that I had to deal with in the past, that even I deal with even now. So I want to make it a lot more positive, like, and just vibe, man. Just follow the vibe.
So is it definitely because it was reflecting on the last time you was in jail?
Yeah, just like the last of everything negative, to be honest.
Oh, the last of everything negative in general.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be more positive.
What's the experience like being on a label?
I never ever thought I would ever like get signed by any label. Okay, so even in the beginning when I first got signed by a label, I only ever had one label meeting ever. Yeah, I went to the meeting and like for me it was like an opportunity, if you know what I'm trying to say at that time. This was a long time ago when there wasn't really like much insight into labels and how things work with labels. You just woke up in the morning and had like an email or whatnot, and then next minute, you know, it was signed to Sony. But it's been a good journey, like loads of positive things on the way. Obviously when you're coming to an end, then it just becomes a lot more complicated, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You've had one of the longest running deals I know.
Yeah.
But with the same actual label.
Yeah.
Especially with the people from your class, like a lot of people have had deals here and then moved on. Like, is there a particular reason why you've been in that particular deal for so long?
Like what I've done is very unique, where it wasn't one deal that I've done. So like people think that I've done one deal and I've been in a long deal. No, I was actually doing a lot of extensions and things was going well and I was doubling up and topping up and whatnot. Because like I was on a good trajectory. Like, you know, like the grass is green, there's no reason to like look anywhere else.
And because this is your last obligation to them, was it like a mutual decision between you guys that this was you moving on, or was it more like you wanted to stand on your own and be independent?
You know what's mad, yeah? This is something that I had to realise along the way, basically, because actually when I started doing that, some good, like, what they would call like hit songs or whatnot, people that wasn't even fully involved in the engineering of these so-called songs that they'll call hit songs, are like trying to have an input. They're trying to get involved in the creativity, and then we're going back and forth on ideas and bumping heads, and a lot of these things are just opinions, they're not facts, innit? But people like are putting like are making final decisions based on opinions, but I don't really feel like they have the full expertise. So that's where it just became like a bit complicated.
So do you think that the same passion has been there for your last project as it's been there for other projects that you've had before?
I feel like what I learned along the way was that there was actually it wasn't really ever about the project that I was doing. Like if it was ideal for them, this project would never be coming, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like,
why'd you say that?
Because every single time when I attempted to get into the project, or like I was on a nice momentum, like and naturally like anyone would get into a project, there was always something put in place for me to take a detour, if you know what I'm trying to say. And because I'm more about quality of the music and making sure everything's running smoothly, I don't mind taking time. I will never put out like something low quality just to like break out of a deal or like whatnot. Like it's not really about the money and all that kind of stuff. Like, I've had situations before when I was coming to the end of my commitment and other labels was coming in with the big money deals, and I'm saying, like I'm not gonna fix nothing that's not broken, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And like when I dropped Martin Sulphur, I was meant to get into an album. Naturally, that's actually what the plan was. That was the first single from the album.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that on the album because it feels like so long ago when you dropped that.
Yeah.
It makes sense based on what you're saying.
Yeah, that was the first single on the album, Martin Sulphur.
Okay.
That's what the song was created for. The whole narrative of the song was my first single from the album. But what happened was, I wasn't ready to drop the album yet. So when I was speaking to the label, I said, yo, I've got this joint project I've done with K-Trap, is sick. Like, let's find a way to just get this out and then I can finish my album. But at that time when I wanted to do the project, which was even before I released Martin Sulphur, they was telling me, nah, like, forget that project. Like, that doesn't make sense right now. Just do your own thing. Martin Sulphur's building momentum, you know what I'm trying to say? So True, the song done well. I think that was like the only solo artist song to break into the top of the charts that year. So when I was ready to build on from that and I'm speaking about, I got another single I'm gonna put on an album, whatnot, they could see like an album campaign's about to start, which is my last commitment. Then that's when the conversation came back, you know what? Let's forget about that and let's do the K-Trap project. You know what I'm saying? So it's just these little mind games that get played.
Like inconsistencies in what they were telling you to do and what you're trying to do.
I felt like because it felt like naturally I'm about to get into my project and like that's the direction I'm heading, and there's been no conversations about what's gonna happen before that or what's gonna happen like your last commitment. They're just trying to long it out now. So yeah, it was a headache, man. We had to get lawyers involved, and like to get the K-Trap project out was a headache, and it ended up wasting like almost up until now, probably like 2 years of my time, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Being honest, yeah.
Okay, now I get that, and obviously in any relationship there's gonna be highs and lows, whether it's with your brethren, your girl, your label. There's been times where you've had mishaps as well with them. For example, the brawl that was at Sony one time, which is obviously like, I feel like when it comes to you got like, you always have experiences that no one else has. Like, how was that when you had that certain situation at the label, which obviously is High Street, Kensington, nothing like that's happened before there, I don't think.
You know, it was just like, obviously, I was invited then, innit, into the building and whatnot, and you know, like, I feel like this is a general thing with like the industry that we're in, like, obviously because you know you have loads of street rappers and whatnot, and everyone has their little issues and whatnot. I feel like it's kind of taken for a joke by a lot of people. Like, so they see me out there making jokes and whatnot, doing whatever, they're thinking, like, whatever's going on can't really like be that serious, if you know what I'm trying to say. So we end up in these kind of situations, you know what I'm trying to say. So obviously it was dealt with properly after, so I'll big them up for that. Like, they came and they spoke to me and made sure whatnot, and then
so they took some ownership as well.
Yeah, okay. Definitely. And I've been hearing since then like they've made changes to bump up things, like so that won't happen again on their end, if you know what I'm trying to say. So I think that's good, but obviously I had to deal with like the fallout of that, like legally, you know what I'm trying to say. Legally, a lot of my visas applications that was going on at the time, like, that rubbed it out. I was on bail for that. Or under, you know, they got these new terms that they use, whatnot, but for almost the best part of 2 years as well.
I was speaking to Chip the other day actually, and Chip asked me what do I think about grime, and I basically said I think that there's always a presence and an existence for grime. It's just that the difference between good grime and bad grime is just so far apart that when you hear bad grime, you think grime's dead, but when you hear good grime, you're like, you get it straight away. Do you get what I'm saying? If I was to ask you about the state of drill in relation to the answer I gave to grime, like, where's drill at?
You know, it's funny. I've come across a lot of drill artists that are like proper like underground, and they're telling a story, and I think they're cold. And I always like, what I tried to do is I always tried to like make them know that I appreciate what they're doing. Like, when I was coming up, it's like if someone's from like another part of London or whatnot, and they're doing their thing, and it's cold, and I can relate to what they're saying, and you can kind of tell when it's authentic. Literally, like there's certain situations that people can talk about, and you can only talk about if you've really been like through things. But I feel like what's happening now is just like, it's weird now, posting, man. People don't like to appreciate other people's work enough. People don't like to like bring people through enough. People like are watering down the thing, the sound, and they're putting their own like new spin on things, which I don't really think is that much of a negative. I think that's just a natural happening as the sound gets more popular. But yeah, man, it's not the quality in terms of like storytelling and production and whatnot. It's like it's not really it's highest that it's ever been, I believe.
Do you think just hardcore straight drill is still gonna be of relevance in 5 years, 10 years?
If that's
in your honest opinion,
if that's your story, bro, like if that's what's going on, and you can find a way to tell it to people in a way that is your truth, then I don't really like to define things by genres. Like, as I've grown in music, there's a lot of instruments. Like, I actually follow instruments and sounds and samples and sounds that I'm attracted to. So that's kind of taken my mindset out of this whole genre kind of thing. Like, I wouldn't really ever say any genre is dying, because it's like stuff cross over between genres and we don't even really know what to call it. So for me, it's just all one thing in my mind. You know what I'm trying to say? And I understand that certain people's sounds can have influences, but if you can feel what they're doing, like, you can feel their story, even though it might be different to mine or different to everyone else's, then I feel like that's their thing, innit?
I relate to you a lot, and I relate to you especially because, you know, my hairline ain't what it used to be before. And I thought me and you were sharing the same struggle.
So you threw in the towel?
Yeah, I threw in the towel. But I don't know, have you watched Supercell?
My nephew's been watching it, you know. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it because I've been busy with like all the roll-up stuff, but I want to watch it though.
Like the way your ones come back, it's like, is that your Supercell power? Like how?
Bro, it's just a positive energy, you know.
It's the positive energy.
Like, trust me, man. I feel like faith can move mountains. Faith can move mountains. Like, you can think things into existence. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not giving up, man. I'm out here.
No, I feel you. All right, cool. Let me ask you another question. What do you think of Kendrick Lamar?
Not really my actual full taste, to be honest.
To be honest, he's not mine either.
Yeah.
But I understand when people like him, though.
Yeah.
How about Pusha T? Someone like Pusha T?
I don't really listen to Pusha T, to be honest. But yeah.
Shit. How about Future?
Future's probably one of my favourite artists.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let me ask you a question. Say Future reached out to you.
Yeah.
And he said he wants to get some work done.
Yeah.
Would you be open to doing it?
Yeah, I'm open to doing it.
The reason I ask is because you once tweeted, making songs with my ops is like putting money in their pocket. You do remember doing that, yeah?
I can't remember tweeting that, to be honest.
You don't remember tweeting that?
Yeah,
it was
no.
it was back in the day.
Okay.
And I wanted to know whether you still felt that way, because obviously, for example, with the Future one, for example, you've had the opportunity to work with Drake, right? And Drake and Future don't necessarily get on right now, for example. So I wondered whether, when you tweeted that at a younger age, whether at this point in your career, you're a bit more relaxed and open about the business of music and people being entitled to work with who they want to work with, sort of thing.
You know, so mad. Like, obviously, I don't. Like, you're actually telling me something I know Future and Drake don't get along, like, and then I don't even know that for sure, to be honest. I've just seen like a song come out, and I'm more confused by it. I don't understand. Like, I've always appreciated them together. Like, I'm from all the way over here. I don't even think that deep into that. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's about, like, you can see when the way someone's thinking, basically. You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like from the outside looking in, you'll be able to see that that's where my mind's at. But some people actually know what's going on, and they have the details, and they make decisions to, like, make certain moves. And that's when I feel like it begins to get weird.
So someone like me, for example, you know that me and you are cool. You know that I'm cool with people you might not get on with, for example. I'm basically the most fence sitter ever that you could find. You know what I'm trying to say? I ain't got no dog in the fight. I'm here to conduct business, be respectful, be gracious, and make some friends if it's a bonus. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to people like me, is it easier to understand that we are fence sitters and we will never pick a side? And is it also different for rappers that you might have close relationships with? Because I'll be honest with you, sometimes as a human, if I see somebody with somebody that I don't like per se, I have felt a way about it sometimes. I wouldn't do anything about it, but I have felt a way about it initially. Do you get it? But then I get over it, because at the end of the day, you don't just want to dwell in that emotion because it might destroy you.
Like, if you want to align with someone, like, that's your own decision. But I just more, like, that would just, I think everyone's open to do what they want to do, but that would change the way I see you morally. Like me, I value my own opinions and my own morals, so I don't want to be like rubbing shoulders with just everyone. So if I feel like I have a view on someone that they're not off, but you're happy to like rub shoulders and be like involved in something that's not off in my eyes, that just makes me think that you're not off.
Hear your point, but people might not be in it that deep at times. But I guess it depends on how close you are with whoever.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to ever think into that deep. That's just telling you the way I think. So it's not a personal thing where I'm gonna think, oh, like I'm upset with you or whatnot. I just look at it like, oh, like this is what you want to align with, then cool. Like I just build back then.
We all saw that clip on Aeroplane with you and Tion. And obviously you're with a few people, like 3 or 4 people. He's with a few people, 3 or 4 people, whatever. It's an aeroplane. And I'm looking at it from home and I'm like, why are Tion and Headie fighting? That's how I'm looking at it, because you're with people, he's with people, and not to take away from anyone who was with anyone, but just more on why was the conflict between you two physically? Do you ever look at certain situations like that and think, that one specifically, just that one specifically, do you think that was a Matrix moment where you guys were just lost in Tion Wayne and Headie One? And I could be wrong, but what I mean by that is you ain't necessarily grown up disliking that person specifically. I don't think that person has grown up disliking you specifically. So I'm saying, as the artist and as like very important people from different sections, it's like I felt like it was the Matrix a little bit.
Oh, so when you say the Matrix, you mean like it's everything around us?
That's making you two do that in that specific moment, because if there's people from that specific part of London that you might actually dislike, whereas he's just a representation of something, and he's an artist, the main artist from there. So it's like, I feel like that's why the altercation took place, rather than personal. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand, but bro, anyone that speaks to me and that behind the scenes and they ask me like these kind of questions, I mean, I'm a very truthful person. I say it how it is. Like, this is what I get into when I speak about authenticity, and I'm just gonna say it because if anyone asks me like, if there's ever been an issue with not or this and that, like from queer, I'll just say how it is. I wouldn't portray it to the public any different from how it is behind the scenes. But obviously I feel like you say, people gain a certain level of popularity within their music and then they make themselves a target. It doesn't really make sense. Like me, I feel like when I came into music and before I started music, this is like, I'm not surprised like that people want to come at me. Now, you never hear me saying, this guy's saying, like, I have so much people that come for me, I don't know them or whatnot, but that's because like that's been my thing from before I became a musician. Like, it doesn't make sense to me to want to come into music and then start portraying yourself in a certain way. If you know what I'm trying to say. Me, I'm more trying to do the opposite. Come into music and portray myself more as try to clean it up a bit, if you know what I'm trying to say. on reflection,
Yeah.
on actual reflection, I'm just thinking, like, I'm a superstar. I'm in my sliders. I got shades on and a face mask, and like I'm having like it's silly, innit? Like it's silly. Like, I was more laughing about it.
You got one stance that you never get out of, man, and you just always seem super calm and collected, man.
I tried to like slow things down and just think, and it's not. Trust me, man.
React too much.
Yeah, man, because it can go left, man.
I'm surprised you lot didn't go like have like deeper repercussions because of that.
Right.
Like as in like arrested or because it was a plane and it was the bad.
I had like that's what I'm trying to say. Other people involved in it was making jokes and broadcasting it. Me, I had deep repercussions, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, bro, it was tricky for me. The stuff that I have to deal with off the back end of all this stuff is mad, but like I don't do like interviews or like nobody will ever know. But I was actually on this new kind of license that they do, innit? It's like it's not licensed, like you're still allowed to fly or whatnot, but you're just meant to like liaise with the probation officers. It's called like an extended kind of license kind of thing, yeah. Obviously, you know, like even commercially, like all of the conversation that I was having in terms of like branding and all that out the window. I'm trying to say straight away, my probation's on me. So they held a meeting in probation, like because they said I'm high profile and I'm on probation and I'm in the newspaper fighting on the airplane. So they bumped up my probation restrictions crazy. They gave me like a top tier gang unit probation officer, and she's literally phoning me. I'm in a penthouse in West London, and she's phoning me about stuff that's happening in the back streets of Tottenham, bro. I'm having to deal with her, and they flagged one of my cases that was like pending, like basically brought back to the forefront, and I nearly went to prison for it, you know. And I was all based off the back of the hype of that.
That makes sense though. I was thinking like, how did nothing happen?
No, it was
Because that's like a mad situation.
Yeah. Even another mad situation, yeah. Like even Lowski, for example, yeah. I remember years ago, see me and Lowski doing music together, and I remember my nephew, when he was younger, he used to like Lowski's music a lot, innit? So one time, bomb hit Lowski now and said, yo, like my nephew's things here, like pull up, and he's pulled up by himself, you know. Pulled up to my nephew's thing and whatnot. Come, I think, with like one of his female friends and whatnot, and then he came. He felt comfortable. He's around all the like the man them, the dog them and that. He's around my sisters there, my dad's there, and then they pushed the mic on him and he performed at my nephew's thing, innit? This isn't some like any hall in Manor House, like round the corner from the hood and that. So I'm going to the studio now, fast forward, and like obviously, like, you know, everyone's an individual, innit? You know what I'm gonna say? But it's like the man will bring maybe a next man from the studio, like I'm aware of like one or two things that might be happening, you know what I'm gonna say? So like, how can a man that's gonna come to my nephew's thing and like show that much respect for my nephew's thing and my family, then next minute he's going online and he's seeing that I'm standing shoulder to shoulder or like with guys that's dissing them up, bro. Like, for me, even forget what he thinks. For me, I'll be disappointed in myself. And if I ever had done it, then it wouldn't have been within my knowledge. But if it is within my knowledge, then like that's just the kind of person I am, bro. I feel like I'm just like, I like to show people the same respect that they show me, if you know what I'm trying to say. But some people don't think like that. Like, they'll go in like, because this person's getting some traction or whatnot, or like, they'll just burn the bridge, bro.
So that's why you take those things kind of seriously, because your morals and integrity are so high when it comes to those types of situations and meaningful situations.
No, definitely, bro. And who knows? Like, I might have had situations where I've slipped up as well, but it wouldn't be within like my knowledge, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like I can walk around and feel calm, bro.
Do you ever see yourself in 10, 20 years, the icon Headie One? With the stronger hairline, do you see yourself in a better place and trying to make change and actually like letting go of any sort of issues that you have? Because that's like, you see me, I've done a lot of things in my career, a lot of innovative things in my opinion, but there's one thing that I really want to do, and I want to squash one rap beef in my life. And obviously my thing, that's not my fault. Whatever beefs you might have or whatever, but I'm just saying in general, do you get what I'm saying? So do you ever see yourself in 20 years, 30 years being in a better place? with things?
This is like the trenches, though, innit? Like, this is what happens. Like, them kind of stuff navigate in ways which, like, no one's ever gonna know how it plays out.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, like, there's never really a happy ending. There's very few happy endings coming out of that them kind of scenarios. You can't decide when you want to call it quits when you're dealing with so many other people. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's just about just navigating, bro, and like making clever decisions.
So obviously Potter's on the album.
Yeah.
Potter's one of the most talented and blessed rappers in the UK and has been for a lot of years. He's outwardly said, I believe, that you're one of his favourite rappers.
Yeah.
If not his favourite. How does it feel when someone like that rates you so highly?
You know, so I've had this personal conversation with Potter, because I even was saying to Potter that like when I was growing up and like, so like 013, a bit more auto 013, when I was like just doing whatever I was doing. Obviously he's from East London, I'm from a whole different part of London, but he wouldn't have even known that I was listening to his early stuff as well. So when I was like away in 014 and Potter started doing well, like I heard him on Charlie Sloth, you know what I'm gonna say, and he had like a fire in the booth, and I was thinking like, raw, like I appreciate this, and then like this is motivation for me to come out and move forward positively as well, you know what I'm gonna say. So the fact that he also ended up in not such a great situation and then doubled back and also had like the same positive things to say is like a full circle moment, to be honest. And I also respect that as well, because like a lot of people will just keep that and like keep that thought in their mind. So I feel like that's similar to me. That's something that if I see something I appreciate it, there's nothing to just openly just pull it out there, even to the individual, you know what I'm gonna say. So yeah, and I respect Potter's things too.
Obviously you work with Stormzy again.
Yeah.
Love to see that every time it happens. How broke did you feel after you heard his verse? Because he was saying some crazy
You know, it's funny,
things.
but you know, it's crazy. Every time when Stormzy, like, I know what to expect from a Stormzy verse, innit? I know, like, when I'm gonna get a verse from Stormzy, it's always gonna be that kind of vibe, innit? So when I'm doing that kind of song, then I feel like Stormzy complements it very well.
Yeah, no, for sure. But he's always just reminding niggas, like, if you're doing well, I'm doing better. And that's how I felt when he said 4 bags on the skin.
Yeah. If you're doing better in life and like you're getting into different kind of things than you did
that
before,
you're gonna do naturally.
Then you'll understand, because when you're saying 4 bags on skincare and t-shirts and whatnot, like if you're into skincare, you know skincare is expensive, isn't it? So
No, of course. And it's always good to know where everyone's at anyway, because it lets you know, okay, cool, we're about to go do more then. You know what I'm saying?
No,
You done the Gumball last year, I believe.
Yeah.
I think you done like 12 countries in 7 days, in probably some luxurious cars with some of the most high net worth people in the world, because this is how rich people want to spend their money. Obviously, you had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you come from an estate in Tottenham and now you're driving all across Europe, staying in the fanciest hotels, driving the sickest cars. Like, what would you say is the best experience that your stardom and your talent has brought you to?
I appreciate the little things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the little things, and every day like is a reminder that, you know what I'm gonna say, that things are getting better and like and things have changed from how it was before. Like just being able to spend time with family, or like do certain things for family that I wasn't able to do before, or like do certain things for friends that I wasn't able to do before, and like putting smiles on people's faces.
Yeah.
And also like, yeah man, just like being able to just add value to other people.
You're the biggest street rapper from Tottenham. Tottenham's like one of the most renowned areas in London, especially in terms of the streets.
Yeah.
So being the biggest street rapper from there,
Yeah.
what kind of pressure is that on you from the streets? Because, you know, obviously Abra has had a lot of success. He's obviously very notoriated, and I don't know if I said that right, but you know, he's had a lot of notoriety and he's big.
Yeah.
OFB had a lot of success.
Yeah.
Still a brand till this day. But you have consistently put in volumes of work and elevated your brand year in, year out.
Yeah.
And you're a street rapper, and you're from Tottenham. So what kind of pressure does that come with from the streets? Because you're talking about things that happen in the streets. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You still know a lot of people in the streets. How are you able to navigate through that and balance through that? Because you're not just waking up in the morning, I'm a rapper, it's a good day. No. You've got things going on.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like the way like my career started wasn't like, it's just different, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there was a lot of complications when I started, and obviously like I had loads of situations like that was happening in the streets, and as like I started to come into success, I had to make a decision like for myself to like have a different way of looking at it and just understand this is just how things are when you become successful in any sort of field coming from the place that we come from. And that's the way I've began to look at it, because like I have the same kind of situations where I'll be in a meeting and my phone's ringing about something just that's so silly. In the early days I'll get frustrated, I'll let it get to me, like, but then that's not, letting them kind of stuff get to you and throw you off track is not the characteristics of a leader. You have to be able to handle these kind of things or put things into place which make these things more easy for you to handle, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Adapt to the circumstances.
But but I will never like look at anyone any different if they was like adhering to the pressure and like making it overcome them, because it is a lot of pressure, bro. Like,
it's a lot of pressure, man.
It's a lot of pressure.
Like, one wrong move and you're done, bro.
Literally.
You know, when you're a street rapper as well, it's like the support of your people is so important, because that's where you come from. You can never get too big for that.
No, of course.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And when I say the streets, I'm even just talking about bonds or friendships and stuff like that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, if all your friends turn against you and like, oh yeah, wow, my man's changed, like, that could affect your business. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
When people speak to me about these kind of stuff, I say, you know, like how these stuff go. You know what I'm saying? You can't move forward with everyone at the same time. People have to be in different kind of positions and do different kind of things. And some people might get bitter about it. Some people might find it hard to accept. Some people just like want to do what you're doing, bro. They want to like replace you. You know what I'm trying to say? But people don't understand that for everything to work and to move forward positively, it takes like a team effort.
You know, like when you're successful, when you're in a powerful position, you can say yes to someone like 10, 20, 30 times.
Yeah.
That one time you say no, it's like it negates all the 30 yeses you've ever said. Have you experienced stuff like that?
Borderline, but I don't feel like I'm pretty sure like people would have had crazy experiences than me, but like the way that I come up and the people that like I rub shoulders with, they're like my proper people, like people that I was rocking with from like almost when I was a proper kid. You know, like the environment I grew is like very family orientated and like a proper like council estate where everyone's mums know each other and like family friends and like your lockdowns, and a lot of these people are the same people that like you'll see me with till today posty. So I feel like that's what brings the likelihood of that happening to me down. And I've, you know, like when you're from the hood and that you hear weird little whispers or whatnot, but when you're really like I don't know how to say it, but like in a way which is normal, but when you're really like, this is really what you've come from, and it's like it's not through no second party or what not. It's like the man them just keep it under control.
In the song I Still Know Better, it's a very introspective track, I reckon, surrounding what happened in the making of Know Better. It was a little bit like a story from A to Z. And it all seemed to have happened in the space of 10 days or a week. I'm not too sure. What is the relationship between violence and chaos in the streets and people's fascination with it so much that it almost boosts, or it seems to boost, an artist's momentum in terms of success? Because it was almost as though you could have almost been ridiculed in one stage, and I feel like you mentioned it in the track. Actually, like one stage you're being ridiculed, in another stage you're being celebrated, and it's all in 1 week.
Yeah.
Did you mention that in the track? I didn't make that up, did I?
Yeah.
Like what do you think, outside of your situation, or you can include that as well, what do you think is the relationship with that side of things and people's success?
I don't really think there is really a relationship, to be honest. I feel like it just grabs loads of attention. Like even till today, like I'll see certain things that's happening on the internet and people are making it go viral, reposting it, but all the bad energy that's being built underneath it, I feel like it's being celebrated by everyone out there, but for the people involved, it's like it's a madness what's going on, and it's life changing. It's affecting people's parents, it's affecting people's children, it's changing people's lives forever, but to them it's just
entertainment.
It's just entertainment, bro.
In the first verse, the impression I got was the things that you were doing that week.
Yeah.
And I think that you said you got lined on the linkage.
Yeah, but not by that person. No.
Okay,
no. Yeah.
but you got lined somehow on the day.
Yeah.
Basically, and I actually really liked it as well, because what you said actually reflects what you just mentioned about when it's entertainment and when it's real life for people, when there's a domino. You even said dominoes
effect, yeah.
Too fucking good. Anyway, so listen now, yeah. So, and you even mentioned, this is where it got me, where you said your girl cried that week, yeah. Now, when you said your girl cried that week, it's because you're on the internet, and the day before you're linking another thing, and your girl's crying because of it, because this is how she's discovering it.
Literally. So
broski.
So it's affecting. It affects. That's what I mean by the negative energy that's like underneath, because it's affecting people emotionally and mentally in so many different ways, from so many different angles. Like obviously, like at that time there was a woman involved, and then you have the girl that is being like the girl that was involved on the actual day that's being spoken about, and she's trending, and she's not an artist, she's not nothing, she's trending. And then me, I'm having to deal with my own personal situations, you know what I'm trying to say. And then you got the things on the streets, and you got my family, my parents' doors getting flown off, my sister's doors getting flown off, and I'm having to deal with all this stuff. And then at the same time, the song's going viral, you know what I'm trying to say. So everyone's just seen a song going viral, and like people poking fun at it, but they don't understand, like, yo, like I'm signing on at the police station 3 times a week, and at the same time, it's like that's the conditions that they gave me. And you know, like nowadays, like the police, they do this kind of thing where they'll serve you a letter like, okay, we have intelligence that you're well, we have some sort of intelligence that you're planning on, like everyone that's like been in them kind of situations will know about this thing that you get, and all of that's happening. I'm trying to do shows and whatnot, and I'm having to still deal with the fallback from the woman that was involved. There was loads of negative energy, I'm gonna say, but I feel like that's what makes the song so crazy, and that's what I wanted to make. I still know, but as well, so I can show people like more insight into what was happening, and it's not just a song that everyone sings along to you.
Now, I actually remember when No Better actually dropped, because it's one of the first drill songs that went from here on a low level ground to like here.
Yeah.
Like it was a big track,
yeah,
like a massive tune, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember I was in my flat at the time, and I see this song, and I was like seeing everything that surrounded it, and everything that was going on about it. And I remember I was waved as well, and I shouted gigs that day, and I was like, yo, what's going on? Because it feels like people are doing stuff and they're like talking about it on songs, and like, it's like part of music now that people are. Some people do things, not you, but some people do things as well, just so they can rap about it these days as well. Like for clout, you mentioned clout a lot in your music. So I'm phoning the craziest nigga I know in music to talk to him and say, yo, no offense, I mean, it's like, you know what I mean, street cred rise at the time. And I'm like, yo, how do we, like, what's going on? Do you get what I'm trying to say? He said, boy, if they think they can do that, they're going to find out soon that they can't. That's what he said.
And he wasn't wrong with stuff.
Yeah. And also at the time as well, yeah, there was like this whole, that was when all the thing on drill was going on. Like, you see, a lot of people don't know that GRM don't accept videos where it's like real beef. Like, even at the time when you made No Better, I don't think I would have taken that video.
Okay, to upload it.
Yeah. I think it was even like, we was even talking about us shooting it at the time, and I heard the tune and I was like, yeah, nah, this one ain't for me. But
I can't lie, like, it was all everything off impulse, innit? Like the way that video came out, and that's why I'm saying it's crazy what Giggs was saying as well. Like, if they think they can do that, then man, because the area that there was a dark cloud, like, in the area that I come from, like, everyone will tell you the feeling, the atmosphere that was happening based around that song. So that's why I feel like I performed that song. It's great, like the fans connect with it and that, but I don't feel that great about it, bro. It's not your proudest moment. Nah, bro, far from, because a lot of shit had to happen, bro. Like, it was dark, like, actually on the streets in Tottenham, it was a dark time. Like, off the fallback of that, people was passing away, and like, that's stuff that I still have to have on my conscience till today, if you know what I'm trying to say. Even though I know I have to, like, speak to myself and say it's not really my fault, because I was put in a situation where, like, the people that came to me at the university or whatnot, there wasn't even, like you said, you have problems with people. I have problems with people that I don't really even know. It's always been like that for me, because I feel like from school and from, like, even early college days, I've always been kind of popular and involved in these kind of stuff which I look back now and probably think would be silly, but obviously it's too late to change those decisions. But so people would like go out of their way to try and come for me, if you know what I'm trying to say. So that's how that started. That was just more based off our Headie's here, my man, we've been having problems with him for years, even though there's no real problem now. We heard he's there, let's just go for him. And there wasn't any real problem. And I've had fallouts with people off the back of that situation, which I was once friends with before. Just like, that's what I speak about in the song. Like, North London, I felt like North London wasn't really the same again after that, to be honest.
Yeah, you're speaking about how your co-D at the time, and you came home, he went away, and then you started having problems with his friends.
Yeah, bro.
That must be like an insane position to be.
Of course, bro, it's a horrible position to be in. One of the first situations that I ever got in, like, legally, and I had to, was in trial in the Old Bailey or whatnot. One of my actual, that's when I say my co-D, one of my actual co-Ds on the case, when the whole fallout from No Better was happening or whatnot, like, and all that kind of stuff, he actually ended up passing away. And what's crazy is one of his friends that, because one of the biggest blogs at the time was the street blogs, right? And the street blogs sent me a screenshot of the message of who the first person to send them the clip from the university was, and it was someone that basically, like, naturally I should have been aligned with, but because I'm getting into music, I don't really know the reasons. They will more be able to tell you the answer to that. But maybe because I'm getting into music and they feel like it's not really, like, I'm not coming together with them. I feel like it's just kind of like a hating thing, to be honest.
One thing that I really like about you is your sense of humor. Like, I think one of the funniest things I ever see was he was driving, and I think he was with Alhan. And someone was like, someone said something at the car, like, oh, it's Headie or something. And you said something, but you're just so funny, like, so funny. But obviously, I know RV's funny too, but in a different way. Like, RV, like, he takes the piss out of people more. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
RV's a troll still.
Yeah, like, you're not that trolly. You're more like, you just troll life more, I think. You get it? RV more trolls people. Obviously, he used to have a lot of opinions before on Twitter. Like, he'll just say his opinion. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like his cousin's wife or whatever. Like, he's just like, he's just saying things in so much humor and stuff. Like, how many times has RV's opinion, or from back in the day, or that kind of stuff, have given people, has that ever given people the wrong impression of you?
I wouldn't know, to be honest, because no one's ever come to me to really say anything. But, like, everyone's entitled to their opinion, bro. Like, and he's just decided. I'm sure people have opinions. He's just deciding to, like, put his out there or whatnot. And if that's what Harvey wants to do, like, he can do that. Whoever wants to be upset about it, that's also on them as well, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, literally, and I feel like that's Harvey's personality, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, he's just like on a love me or hate me kind of thing. And that's why, like, and
Marmite.
yeah, like, you just got to respect that. That's him.
There was a situation where your jewelry had been stolen from your house.
Yeah.
Yeah? Obviously you weren't there as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to just put that out there just so it's more clear. What is the biggest lesson that you learned from that particular situation?
It just taught me to just, like, slow down and think about these extra things that maybe when things are moving quick that I might not be stopping to think about, if that makes sense.
So what, you still ain't learned the safety security box in the
No,
back?
that's what I'm trying to say. All of that, yeah. But I wouldn't say that I learned that.
Oh,
that
you had that already?
Yeah, I already knew about that from
you
before.
knew, but you hadn't activated.
But what happened in that situation was I was going on tour the following day, like literally like early hours of the morning. I had a studio session the night before. Yeah, I'm rushing, I'm packing. I've run out to the studio, so I've left things kind of scatty. You know what I'm trying to say, which is not something that I would usually do. But the powers is that at that moment when I went to the studio and things are hanging around, like the jewelry that I had on, some of it I'll probably be wearing, but because I'm running out, I've just left it on the side of the fucking tank, coming back in a few hours. That's when the things happen. So it's kind of just like left it on a plate for the people that was like had these motives to do what they was doing. You know what I'm gonna say? So that's more of like the lesson that it reinstated to me, that like you can't, any little split second of not paying attention or not following your protocols can end up in these kind of things happening, if it makes sense.
Do you feel like that was targeted, or do you feel like it was just some random chavs getting busy?
I don't really, like, I try not to think about it mostly, because like obviously it's a decision I have to make every day. Do I want to continue, like, do I want to follow that train, that thought process, that train of thinking, and cause I know where that would kind of end up.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Just gotta hold the L.
I wouldn't really call it holding the L.
You don't think?
Nah, I wouldn't really call it holding the L, because I don't really.
There was 100. There was like 100 there.
Yeah.
And then the 100 wasn't there no more. Yeah, so I'm saying it's not an L, as in like it's not a W. How would you describe it then?
I'll just see it as it just is what it is, bro. Like, you know how these things can turn out, Post. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But obviously we're moving on to like.
No. You're taking it. You know what I think you're doing?
Yeah.
You're taking it as in maybe an L on yourself. I'm just talking about when you lose something. Like you just lost something.
Yeah, but obviously I'm pissed off about it. But like I feel
like you're going into that place. I could tell you're going into that place. I'm making you think about it too much.
That's now you see why I don't follow that thought train.
I just felt that, you know.
See what I'm saying?
Because you started thinking about that.
When I get into that thought train, bro, I will follow that road, down further and further until it's gonna.
You was in a trance just then. You was meant to be on my song "Faith in My Killy." You done your verse for me twice.
You know, so crazy.
Yeah.
When I was on the way to Glastonbury. Yeah. The song came on, innit?
Did it?
Yeah, and I was playing it on the screen, and I'm like, this song's a banger, man. But I know this song differently. I said, because it's been years now.
Yeah, a long time.
So I know this song differently, but when I shot to guys say I was meant to do a song with Nate more recently. I'm saying, is it that song? But then I remember that I actually laid a verse on it.
Twice, yeah. You laid a verse on it for me twice.
Where did that happen then?
You was in the second verse.
Yeah.
You know what, actually?
Yeah.
Tell you something funny. Faith in My Killy was Nave Smalls, you second verse, and it was K Trap third verse.
Yeah.
But me and Trap did 2 songs. So I didn't keep that one. Okay. And then your label at the time was very, very difficult in clearing tracks.
Yeah.
Like I went to mind mental beef with them for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I'd get like an email from like, I'm over it by the way. Yeah. But I'd get like an email from
so you call like your girl on that same road that I was going on.
I'd get an email. We'd get like emails from Relentless and that, Oh, someone would be like, Post, we just got an email from Relentless. Fuck them. I just be like, I was on a warpath for like 3-4 months. I was so upset. But what I'm saying is, how many other tunes, or is there any other tunes that we could have heard you on that we didn't hear you on for any particular reason?
Quite a lot. Like I've done a song with Beat Freaks, D Block Europe. I forgot who exactly everyone else that they got on the song. I think Captain Conan was on it as well. Like they done like a group song, innit? But the song was hard though. It was like I forgot the name of it, because I can't even lie, but it's a Beat Freak song, innit?
Yeah.
And actually the verse that I actually done on it ended up leaking a bit like on YouTube and that. But that never got released officially, and I'm assuming it's because of like label complications and that kind of stuff. That's one of them off the top of my head.
Obviously you've worked with H a few times.
Yeah.
Obviously I told you that new tune that you lot dropped is a banger.
Yeah.
Like obviously we've all got our cheeky white mates.
Yeah.
I feel like when he said that line about put it in a...
Yeah. But if you know H, H is crazy though.
Yeah, H is crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what was your reaction when you heard the verse for the first time?
That's H's bag, innit?
Yeah.
That kind of sound. If you done it like when he got the song, like he done it in like half a second. So that's like, I feel like that's what the sound that he kind of gravitates to.
Who was your biggest influence in terms of UK rap growing up? Like, not influence as in like they made you want to rap.
Yeah. Or
But
that's
like who like, for example, when I was growing up, my favorite MC was Kano and Gets.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, those are my favorites, and I feel like. But then obviously as well, like when I first saw So Solid, like that was the first CD I ever bought.
Yeah.
Spent my money on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like my first CD. So like, what was that for you?
Do you know what's mad, bro? Like, I almost like, when people ask me about like music that I was listening to growing up or like gravitating to, I almost feel like I missed out in like a big part of like UK music culture in terms of like the grime stuff, because I wasn't really like the biggest grime fan musically. But I feel like obviously I had artists that I more was like into like, I liked like UK rap quite a lot. So I used to listen to like random artists, bro, like you would never think. Like Gunna D, for example. Then K Coke had a cold mixtape as well. And we had like some of the guys from Peckham as well that was doing like the proper like street music and that. We had gigs. Obviously I could appreciate the grime, but I would more come across the grime that was more gone commercial, like Chipmunk stuff or whatnot. But I couldn't like pick out like one of the grime songs from back then.
You don't know P's and Q's?
I know P's and Q's, but I wouldn't be able
Jesus.
to. I wouldn't be able to tell you like back then. Like
Yeah,
at that time
yeah.
that this is P's and Q's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's weird, man.
Obviously you and Skepta got a good relationship.
Yeah.
It's definitely clear that he respects you, and you know, we can see that you respect him. So like, how did that relationship, obviously you're both from Tottenham as well, was that one of the catalysts for that relationship becoming what it was, and how have you guys been able to build on that since then?
When I came out and I was doing music, like, he just showed my love from early, and he's just always been normal. And one thing that I do appreciate about other artists a lot, like, you know, if you come around me and my people, and you show comfortability, like and you take us in, like, and you be around, and you don't like you don't know what we're doing. I appreciate that quite a lot, because it shows that like you're actually taking in me and my people. I'm trying to say, like, there's a lot of people that come around, like the man them or whatnot, me and the man them, and they'll be awkward and like, you know what I'm trying to say. But Skepta's never been like that. Skepta's just like always come around and embraced some of the little bros as well, you know what I'm trying to say, and embraced everything, bro. And it's always been nothing but love. Like when I started going over to Paris and that, he all had man squeezing up next to my man, the long leg basketball player.
Yeah. You've become like a connoisseur of Fashion Week lately.
I'm over there a little bit.
No, you've been there a few times, man. You've been there a few times.
Yeah.
It's actually funny as well, because I was gonna say, you see you've got the weirdest body shape ever. I'll tell you why, I'll tell you why. Bro, sometimes I think you're getting fat, and then I'll see you, but you're not. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like weird angles and that. It's like some weird Ghanaian body, you know what I'm saying?
I was chatting to like these about this yesterday. Was at one just chatting shit and whatnot, and I was saying, yo, like I put on weight and lose weight mad quick, bro. It's
Yeah.
weird. Like when I went on holiday the other day, I went up to 130 kg in it.
130.
Yeah, bro. Within like 5 days, bro. So I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, I'm thinking, yo, like, but I'm not looking chubby. But it's like, the scales are saying I'm putting on weight. But then I come back now, 2-3 days, and then my weight's dropping again. It's weird. I think it's just my metabolism.
So what? How much have you come down now?
I ain't checked, bro, since I saw the 130. But I know, like, it's gone down.
Hey, I know that was. There was one year where you won a rated award,
Yeah.
and the police. We was in I ain't gonna say where we was actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, the police basically organising or part of that borough at the time
Yeah.
kind of basically said you couldn't come collect your award
Yeah.
because of your street affiliation and that you might potentially be high risk. I even think you got a song on the album called Form 696.
Yeah.
I'm good. Cool.
Yeah, no,
There's a
yeah,
lot,
even
you know what I'm
listening.
saying? I'm cultured, my guy.
Even listening, it's not.
So listen, so they're saying that you can't come over there. But what you done is, and I didn't know this, you've come on the night
Yeah.
with dreadlocks
Yeah.
and a full outfit and been a member of the crowd,
In there.
watched the whole show and filmed yourself after.
Yeah.
Like, that was the most hilarious thing. I know
Funny.
a lot of people wouldn't know the backstory to that because they don't know that you're scheduled to win an award at this show,
Yeah.
and they've said that you can't come there.
Yeah, it's like, I don't, like, and obviously, like, you're saying that as the particular borough, but the borough is like, it wasn't a whole nother borough, you know what I'm gonna say? So, this is like I'm saying, this is the stuff like that you deal with, like, obviously, like, look at the way that I came into music, is like, it's frustrating because obviously we've moved forward. Obviously, at the time, like, we're just trying to progress, you know what I'm gonna say? And obviously, coming to collect an award would have been a big deal for me at the time. But, yeah, man, still deal with it till today, though.
Yeah, no, of course. I feel like the other day even, or last year when you and Trap
Yeah.
were meant to have a headline show,
Yeah.
that got cancelled as well, right?
Yeah, it got cancelled, yeah.
Was that due to like similar reasons?
Yeah, they say it's high risk. They said it's high risk, but I feel like at this point, like the levels that me and K-Chat have reached respectively in our careers, like, I think any of that happening now is just like, I don't really know how to describe it or understand like what the thought process behind it will be, because obviously we've performed in big venues already and had successful shows without no troubles or whatnot. So yeah, like, I'd love to speak to someone on like that kind of things and see like how their mind works in terms of making those decisions. Like the other day, I think Odumodi Black was having a concert, yeah. Odumodi Black was having a concert in Coco, yeah. And I was gonna just go over there, like, you know, I'm like, he's one of my favorite artists right now, innit? I went Ghana and like, just like, was banging one of his albums the whole time I was there. And from there, I've been like listening to his music. I was going to watch the show, and before I even had the idea of thinking, like, they already told them that I'm not allowed in the building before I even had the idea of wanting to go see the show. Like, so when I was sorting it or whatnot, and they're saying, oh yeah, like, yeah, come, like, we're gonna sort out for you to come. Someone in his team had already got the message that Headie's not to come to the building. So I was even laughing with my team, thinking, before I even knew there was a show happening, they've already banned me from going there. So I don't understand that, like, how it works. It's crazy.
So that still follows you around. It's still a prominent thing.
Yeah, it's a bit here and there though, because I've been in Coco recently and been to watch Friday shows. So we got the song on the album, so I seen Thames and Coco, like, but it's just like they just pick and choose. Like, when I don't know if it's like.
Oh, so even as a member of the audience, sometimes you can't go.
Yeah, obviously, like, I wouldn't be in the audience, but
Yeah.
just to like come and just watch the show, like, if I'm a fan of the artist, support the thing, like, nah, just lock it off.
What kind of song would people expect you not to like? That's like one of your favorite songs ever.
That's a good question, you know. I like a lot of soulful music, a lot of R&B. I like that Cesar and Summer Walker song.
Scissor and Summer Walker.
Yeah, I think it's called No Love or something. I
No
remember
Love.
spinning that one recently. It's bad, bro.
No, but like a classic, something classic.
Oh, like
Could
like
even be a pop tune. You know we like weird shit sometimes.
Yeah, I can't lie. You see, like some of Ice Spice and stuff that she dropped last year. I wouldn't really call it classics, but that was I was spinning that one.
Oh, you was fucking with it?
Yeah, I was spinning it. It's catchy, innit?
Yeah, I prefer Sexy Red though.
Sexy Red is lit as well.
Yeah.
I like that
she
new
makes
song. I like the new
bangers.
song that she done with Drake.
Oh, you like that?
It's an odd one, innit?
But let's just assume RV or Alhan can't swim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
They're both drowning. Oven. Help! You gotta save one, man. There's one space, man. Who's getting in the boat, man?
Also, I'm gonna have to say RV, innit? Alan's gonna have to go.
Alhan's gonna have to
Alan's
go.
gonna have to go, man. It's loving everything, but we'll link in the next life.
In the afterlife.
Yeah.